Towards the end of last year, I had to borrow $10,000. My bank said no, so I went to one of those lenders, a kind where you pay back weekly at rates that feel like punishment, and I'm still paying it back in many different ways, not just financially. Every bad financial decision that a business owner makes doesn't just affect them, it affects everyone who works for them. I made that decision because I had no real visibility into my own finances, not because I wasn't working hard, not because the agency wasn't producing, because I had no real visibility in my own finances. By the time I felt the pressure, my options were already bad. Here's what financial invisibility actually looks like in a small agency. Roughly what's coming in, you pay the bills that show up, you make payroll, and at the end of the month, you look at the account and try to figure out if you're okay. That's not financial management, that's financial survival. The problem with survival mode is that it only tells you where you are right now. It tells you nothing about where you're going to be in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. So when something goes wrong, a slow month, a carrier changing commission structure, a staff situation that costs you a lot of money, you're sued, whatever it could be, you find out about it when you're already in it, not before. That's what happened to me. And I knew that things were tight. I didn't know how tight until I needed $10,000 and my bank told me no. So here's what we built. I call it the 12-week Cash Runway Model. And it does one thing. It tells me how many weeks the agency can survive at current burn rate if revenue stopped suddenly today. Runway number is the most important number in a small business like mine. Not revenue, not profit on paper. How many weeks can you actually function? Can you survive? Most agency owners have no idea what that number is. I didn't. The model works like this. So every week, Rebecca, she's my office manager, she updates a master operations spreadsheet and it has 4 things on it. So first, a fixed bills priority list, every recurring expense the agency has, ranked in order of what gets paid first if we have to make hard choices. Rent, payroll, carriers, everything else after that. Second, a fee deferral log. And fees or expenses we're deferring get documented, not forgotten, documented, because deferred bills don't disappear. They just move to the future. Third, a 12-week cash projection based on expected commissions, known expenses, and current account balances. It tells us what the next 90 days looks like before we're even living them. Fourth, the runway numbers, updated weekly. How many weeks can we survive if everything stopped? When that number drops below a threshold, we define it in advance. It triggers a conversation, not a crisis, a conversation. The goal isn't to never have a hard month. The goal is to see the hard month come and with enough time to do something about it. We also built what I call a cash floor. A cash floor is a number, a specific dollar amount, below which the operating account should never fall. I put mine at $10,000. It's not savings, it's a threshold. If the account drops below that number, everything stops until we figure out why. When I borrowed that $10,000, I didn't have a cash floor. I had a vague sense that things were tight. Vague sense doesn't trigger action. A number does. We set the floor. We put it on a spreadsheet. Rebecca watches it. When it gets close, she tells me, not after we've crossed it, but before. That is what financial visibility actually looks like. Not complicated, just documented, tracked, and reviewed every single week. I want to be clear about something though. I'm not sharing this because I have it all figured out. I'm sharing this because I'm still in the middle of figuring it out. I'm still paying back that loan. The cash floor isn't where I want it to be yet. I had to halt bonuses temporarily so that we could get it there. The runway number isn't where it needs to be, but I can see it now. I can call it exactly as it is and see where it's heading. That's the big difference. Before Watley 2.0, money was something that happened to me. Now it's something that I manage. Next week, I'm going to talk about accountability, specifically what happens when you've been promising bonuses verbally for years with no system behind them, and what it costs you when good people start to wonder if you actually mean it. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Every episode in this series builds on the last. This was episode 4. You can't fix what you can't see. Build the visibility first.